In 1917, Congress chartered the Jewish Welfare Board, JWB, to support the religious, cultural, and spiritual needs of Jewish soldiers and sailors, who then constituted over 5% of the U.S. Armed Forces during World War I. JWB was one of 7 organizations that banded together to form the United Service Organization, USO. And during World War II, with Frank Weil as president of JWB, it sponsored 311 military chaplains, all from all branches of Jewish life, Reform, Conservative, and Orthodox, to serve the more than 500,000 Jewish servicemen and women. Now, we have subsequently changed our name from JWB to the Jewish Community Centers Association to better reflect other aspects of our mission. However, JWB to this day continues to be the brand that defines that aspect of the Jewish Community Centers Association's services to the Jewish chaplaincy and the brave men and women who defend our nation.
Senator, with the funding of the JF&A through the Alliance, we proudly send over 500 packages 7 times a year to Jewish men and women serving in harm's way in the recent conflicts and at ships at sea. We support them on Jewish holidays so that they will have a touch of home and a sense of being cared for, though they are Jewishly in the most distant and lonely and mostly frightening places. Additionally, we represent proudly the Reform, Conservative, Orthodox, and Reconstructionist movement, continuing to support most of the rabbis that serve in our armed forces and all of the rabbis that serve in the Department of Veterans Affairs. We do this with great pride and with great joy. One of the things that we've done lately is to establish 6 small Torah scrolls, really small scrolls, that are so portable that they can be taken in theater by our rabbis and actually packed on their back as necessary. When we dedicated the first of those scrolls, you were there just across the street here to help dedicate and inscribe one of the last letters of that scroll. At the time, you spoke to the heart of our president and CEO, Alan Finkelstein. You gave him a book written by a Medal of Honor winner, signed, about Jewish Legion of Valor. And you truly moved him, and it made it very easy for him to understand why you were the right person for us to have, at this moment, receiving this award.
Senator Levin, you have been a champion of causes important to our JCC movement. In 2012, you provided the critical support at key moments in the 20-year successful struggle to ensure productive rights for those women recipients of military medical benefits who are survivors of rape or incest. In 2007, you responded with clarity, heard at the highest level of the Pentagon, when some non-Jewish denominations sought to misappropriate the tablets and the Star of David, the insignia of our Jewish chaplains, for use by non-Jewish military clergy, raising the specter of confusion and conversionary activity. Senator Levin, you have lived the scriptural admonition, justice, justice, shall you pursue. Your commitment to public service above self-interest and your constant concern for the men and women serving in our military have been the hallmark of your career. It is therefore absolutely altogether fitting and appropriate that we present to you the Frank L. Weil Award for service to Jews in the military. And it is my great pleasure to present this award, which states 2014 Frank L. Weil Award for distinguished contributions to the U.S., to our armed forces, and Jewish life therein, presented to Carl Levin. We congratulate you, and we thank you on behalf of our people. for all that you have done, and on behalf of all citizens as a senator of the United States Senate. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, Ron and Rabbi, thank you. It's a real honor for me to receive this award and to be in your presence. Rabbi, I wish I could be with you and all the others in San Diego when you receive your award, because it would have been a real honor and treat to be standing next to you then as you receive your award. And I know how how well deserved that award is as well, because of the work that we have done together. And it's a special honor to be recognized by the JCC and by Jewish chaplains for my work. I'm a very proud Jew. I'm not always the most observant, I must confess, in this presence of a rabbi. But I am very proud of my Judaism, and the few things that I've been able to do, which have been recognized here with this award, have been something that I feel very strongly about. One of the things that we've done recently in our defense authorization bill was to tell the Pentagon that they should go back and review the awards which have been given, the medals which have been given to minorities in this country that who might have received the Medal of Honor. They all received Distinguished Crosses, but we asked the Pentagon in our 2000 I believe it was 2002 authorization bill to go back and look at the African Americans, look at the Hispanic Americans, and at the Jewish Americans who've received already high honors, but who may not have received the highest honor which we have, which is the Medal of Honor, because of discrimination and bigotry. The Pentagon did this, and the President is just this month going to be awarding over 20 medals of honor to individuals who deserve the highest honor when they were given the second highest honor, but perhaps because of discrimination or bigotry were not given the highest award. So 24 Americans who in many cases gave their lives as wearing the uniform of our country to save their brothers and sisters will be so honored at the White House. And a number of these are Jewish Americans. Typically is Private First Class Leonard Kravitz, who during the Korean War manned a machine gun post and stood his ground so his platoon could escape. And he was killed in action because he decided that he would give his life so that the members of his platoon could leave that spot, which was being fired upon heavily, and he by himself manned the machine gun until they escaped, and then he was killed by the enemy. This is typical of minorities in America who have this special feeling about America that even though there's discrimination against them here at home, that they will put the uniform on and give it a special meaning. And this is true with the Japanese Americans who fought in World War II while their parents and brothers and sisters were in internment camps in the United States. This was true of Danny Inouye, my colleague, who received the Medal of Honor because he felt this country had the potential to be really great and free of discrimination and to celebrate our diversity. And so we found in Americans who've been discriminated against, including our Jewish people who put the uniform on, that there's a special award, a special meaning to putting on the uniform when back home there's discrimination against our very people. And so that ceremony at the White House represents that special loyalty, that special love for this country, which minorities frequently have, despite the fact that they've been treated as second-class citizens, and in our case, despite the anti-Semitism, which obviously was present at the time and still to some extend and in some places still exist, even here in our beloved land. So this is very, very special to me. I know that my mother and dad were always active in the JCC. My mother is an active volunteer for Hadassah. My mother and dad, both very strong Zionists, that this would mean a great deal to them as well. And I know particularly because of this award and because of Rabbi Robinson being my co-awardee here that you will, as you celebrate the role of our JCCs across the country, you'll pause for a moment there in San Diego to think about the men and women in uniform who are now in harm's way and their families who are so essential to their support. So again, my many, many thanks for this award. It has special meaning to me.
Senator, thank you very much for having us here today. You're clearly a proud son of our people, and you're an individual in whom our people has great pride.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.